students, scholars, teachers, trainers, professors, professionals, honorable advocates, professors, family doctors, directors, all listeners. Today it is very nice time, nice place, nice action. We are appreciating our holy Indian land, how our forefathers, freedom fighters, free thinkers worked for its betterment and upliftment. It is really praiseworthy, admirable, and appreciable. Our Indian Holy Land is known as the land of starters, beginners, initiators, creators, generators, operators. In the different fields of science, commerce, arts, medical, non-medical, science to spirituality, language to literature. We listen from this channel how our nature is a common concept of all holy religions of the Holy Land. Our holy Indian cultural land is the land of forefathers, freedom fighters, free thinkers, astronomers, astrologers, those who came to give us the message of humanity, peace of mind, tranquility of heart. Different poets, novelists, dramatists, essayists described, explained, defined in praise of nature. We feel presence of God in these five elements. Our great man said that we are made by five elements and we have presence of that super spiritual power of God. Start of Sikhism, Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, who came in 1469 and spent his 40 days in district Sirsa. Sirsa is known as the most spiritualistic land. Start off there as Soda Shah Mastana Ji Maharaj, who came in India in 1945 and started this holy institute, Veera Satya Soda, in 1948. Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, all deities, worshippers also came in India, especially in district Sirsa, for addressing the message of unity and diversity. And this message also explained by the different holy scriptures. As we read श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता। ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। अगाष्टोम अध्याय। अर्जुन उवाच किं तद्ब्रह्मा किं ध्यात्मं किं परं पुरुषोत्तम अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तमधिदैवं किमुच्यते। अर्जुन ने कहा, हे पुरुषोत्तम, वह ब्रह्मा क्या है, अध्यास क्या है, कर्म क्या है, अधिभूत नाम से क्या कहा गया है और अधिदैव किसको कहते हैं। The same can be defined in English. Arjuna said, Krishna, what is that Brahma? Brahma means absolute. What is Adhyatma? Adhyatma means spirit. And what is Karma? Karma can be explained as in form of action. What is called Adhibhuta? Adhibhuta means matter, and what is termed as Adhidevya, that is divine intelligence. Next, it is also explained in Bhagavad Gita in Sanskrit language. Adhiyabhutam kovatrahde ars mandu sudanam priyāṇ kāle chirkatam yeyo asi etātudhi। हे मधुसूदन, यहाँ अधियज्ञ कौन है और वह इस शरीर में कैसे है, तथा युक्त चिंता वाले पुरुषों द्वारा अंत समय में आप किस प्रकार जानने में आते हैं। कृष्णा, who is Adhyatma, and how does he dwell in the body, and how are you to be realized at the time of death by those of steadfast mind। Next, Shri Bhagavan was Aksham Brahma Paramam Svabhavo Adhyatam Muchyate Guruk Dhavo Dhurtaro Visarv Param Sanjita। श्री भगवान ने कहा, परम अक्षर ब्रह्मा है, अपना स्वरूप अर्थात जीवात्मा अध्यात्म नाम से कहा जाता है, तथा भूतों के भाव को उत्पन्न करने वाला जो त्याग है वह कर्म नाम से कहा गया है। श्री भगवान said, the supreme indestructible is Brahma, one own self, the individual soul, is called Adhyatma, and the primary result of God, Vishyata, which brings forth the existence of beings, is called karma or action. अधिभूतम् अक्षरो अधिभूतम् क्षरो भावपुरुषाधिद्वैतम् आदिजगो अहमिवाकृदेहे व्रतम् उत्पत्ति विनाश धर्म वाले सब पदार्थ अधिभूत हैं। निर्णयम पुरुष अधिदैव हैं और ये देवधारियों में श्रेष्ठ अर्जुन इस शरीर में मैं वासुदेव भी अंतर्यामी रूप से अधियज्ञ हूँ। All the perishable objects are adhibhuta. The shining Purusha means Brahma is adhidavya, and in this body I myself dwelling as the inner witness am adhiyajna Holyworldguruna. अंतकाले च मामे स्वकलेवरम् यो परियाति श्रुमद्भागं याति मास्त्रियत्र संशयो। जो पुरुष अनंत काल में भी मुझको स्मरण करता हुआ शरीर को त्याग कर जाता है, वह मेरे साक्षात स्वरूप को प्राप्त होता है। इसमें कुछ भी संशय नहीं है। He who departs from the body thinking of me alone, even at the time of death, attained my state. There is no doubt about it. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajji tadayante klivaram tam tamevati kamte sada हे कुंती पुत्र अर्जुन, यह मनुष्य अंतकाल में जिस भी भाव को स्मरण करता हुआ शरीर त्याग करता है, उसको ही प्राप्त होता है, क्योंकि वह सदा उसी भाव से भावित रहा है। अर्जुना, thinking of whatever entity one leaves the body at the time of death, that and that alone one attains, being ever absorbed in its thought. स्वरेषु कालेषु मां स्मर्य च मयर्पित मनोबुद्धिर्मोहामेव संशयम्। इसलिए है अर्जुन, तू सब समय में निरंतर मेरा स्मरण कर और युद्ध भी कर। इस प्रकार मुझ में अर्पण किए हुए मन बुद्धि से युक्त होकर निसंदेह मुझको ही प्राप्त होगा। Therefore, Arjuna, think of me at all times and fight with mind and vision. Thus, set on me युक्ते परमं पुरुषं देव्यं याति पार्थानुचिन्तयन्। हे पार्थ, यह नियम है कि परमेश्वर के ध्यान के अभ्यास रूप योग से युक्त दूसरी ओर न जाने वाले चित्त से निरंतर चिंतन करता हुआ मनुष्य परम प्रकाश रूप दिव्य पुरुष को अर्थात परमेश्वर को भी प्राप्त होता है। अर्जुना, he who with his mind disciplined, discipled or disciplined through yoga in the form of practice of meditation and thinking of nothing else, is constantly engaged in contemplation of God, attains the supremely effulgent divine Purusha, means what? Gauriyam Puranam Shashitaram Borinyam Samnushvred Sarvashyaho Bhatar Majinteru Kumadityaram Kamashiraprastat। जो पुरुष सर्वज्ञ अनादि सबके नियंता सूक्ष्म से भी अति सूक्ष्म सबके धारण पोषण करने वाले अचिंत्य स्वरूप सूर्य के सदृश्य नित्य चेतन प्रकाश रूप और अविद्या से अति परे शुद्ध सच्चिदानंद धन परमेश्वर का स्मरण करता है। Who contemplates on the all-knowing, faithless being, the ruler of all shutter, then the shutter, the universal sustainer, possessing a form beyond human conception, effulgent like the sun, and far beyond the darkness of ignorance. Priyam Kale Mansachale Bhaktya Yukto Yogalenche Urgar Madhye Tanmavishya Samyak Satam Param Purusham Upeti Divyam। वह भक्ति युक्त पुरुष अनंत काल में भी अंत काल में भी योग बल से प्रकृति के मध्य में प्राण को अच्छी प्रकार स्थापित करके फिर निश्चल मन से स्मरण करता हुआ उस दिव्य रूप परम पुरुष परमात्मा को भी प्राप्त होता है। Having by the power of yoga firmly held the life breathe in the space between the two eyebrows, even at the time of death, and then contemplating on God with a steadfast mind, full of devotion, he reaches very deep that supreme divine Purusha means God. Yadaksharam Vedvido Vadanti Vishyanti Yattayo Vitraga Yadichanto Brahmachari Charanti Tate Padam Sadam Gurhe Pravakshahe। जानने वाले विद्वान जिस सच्चिदानंद धर्म स्वरूप परम पद को अविनाशी कहते हैं, आशक्ति रहित यत्न से सन्यासी महात्मा जन जिसमें प्रवेश करते हैं और जिस परम पद को चाहने वाले ब्रह्मचारी लोग ब्रह्मचारी का आचरण करते हैं, उस परम पद को मैं तेरे लिए संक्षेप से कहूँगा। I shall tell you briefly about that supreme God, that is God, who is an embodiment of truth, knowledge and wish, which the knowers of the Veda term as the indestructible, which striving recluses free from passion, merge into and desiring Krishna, celebrates practice brahmacharya. सब इंद्रियों के द्वारों को रोककर तथा मन को हृदय में स्थित करके फिर उस जीते हुए मन के द्वारा प्राण को मस्तिष्क में स्थापित करके परमात्म संबंधी योग धारणा में स्थित होकर जो पुरुष ओम इसलिए अक्षर रूप ब्रह्म को उच्चारण करता हुआ और उसके अर्थ स्वरूप उस निर्गुण ब्रह्म का चिंतन करता हुआ शरीर को त्याग कर जाता है, यह पुरुष परम गति को प्राप्त होता है। Having controlled all the senses and firmly holding the mind in the heart, and then drawing the life breathe to the head, and thus remaining steadfast in yogic concentration on God, he who leaves the body and departs, touching the one indestructible Brahma, form and dwelling on me in my absolute aspect, reaches the Supreme God. Anane cheta satatam yo maham samarti nityashu Vajapam sulabhat nityayuktasya yogin. हे अर्जुन, जो पुरुष मुझमें अनन्य चित्त होकर सदा ही निरंतर मुझ पुरुषोत्तम को स्मरण करता है, उस नित्य निरंतर मुझ में युक्त हुए योगी के लिए मैं सुलभ हूँ, अर्थात उसे सहज ही प्राप्त हो जाता हूँ। अर्जुना, whoever always and constantly thinks of me with undivided mind, to that yogi ever absorbed in me, I am easily attainable. Mamupetya punarjanam yogaryam shashvatam Apnuvanti mahatman sansiddham paramam gata. परम सिद्धि को प्राप्त महात्मा जन मुझको प्राप्त होकर दुखों की भर हिंसन जन को नहीं प्राप्त होते। Great souls who have attained the highest perfection, having come to me, are no more subject to transitory births, which is the abode of sorrow and transient by nature. अर्जुन ब्रह्मलोक सब लोग पुनरावृत्ति हैं, परंतु हे कुंती पुत्र मुझको प्राप्त होकर पुनर्जन्म नहीं होता, क्योंकि मैं कालातीत हूँ और ये सब ब्रह्मादि के लोग काल के द्वारा सीमित होने से अनित्य हैं। अर्जुना, all the words from Brahmaloka, the heavenly realm of the Creator Brahma, downwards are liable to birth and rebirth. But O son of Kunti, on attaining me, there is no rebirth. For while I am beyond time, regions like Brahmaloka being conditioned by time are transitory. ब्रह्मा का जो एक दिन है उसको 1000 चतुर्युगी तक की अवधि वाला और रात्रि को भी 1000 चतुर्युगी तक की अवधि वाला जो पुरुष तत्व से जानते हैं वे योगी जन काल के तत्व को जानने वाले हैं। Those yogis who know from realization Brahma's day as covering 1000 Mahayugas, and so his night as extending to another 1000 Mahayugas, know the reality about time. व्यक्ति है सर्वभुवन्ते संपूर्ण चराचर भूतगण ब्रह्मा के दिन के प्रवेश काल में अव्यक्त से अर्थात ब्रह्मा के सूक्ष्म शरीर से उत्पन्न होते हैं और ब्रह्मा की रात्रि के प्रवेश काल में उस अव्यक्त नामक ब्रह्मा के सूक्ष्म शरीर में लीन हो जाते हैं। माता ब्यूटीफुल remarkable appreciation and narration of our holy Indian cultural holy scriptures you are listening. Today is what is written which shows today. Oh dear Lord, you are mine. There are innumerable ways to attain God realization amongst all God's paths. I have found a unique path which is uncommon. It is I belong to God. You may perceive this as ordinary, but in my opinion, It is extremely unique. Each one of us is so child. It is not a usual fact. This renders God realization extremely easy. One disciple asked one question from Swamiji. Earlier you instructed as regarding seeking refuge in God and chanting His name. Then you asked us to regularly repeat, "Oh, my dear Lord, I must never forget you," and now you are telling us to accept our belongingness to God. Which of these sadhanas should we follow? Then Swamiji replies, "Follow which I am instructing now." All sadhanas are excellent, but accepting that God is mine, this makes us close to God. The closer we are to God, the better the worship becomes. Further, one more question was asked by a disciple from Swamiji. Carrying out all deeds diligently or disregarding our belongingness with a magical word or accepting our belongingness to God, which among us the three sadhanas is most appropriate to break away from our attachment and aversion and attachment. Then Swamiji replies here, accepting our belongingness to God is the foremost sadhana, because our acceptance of the belongingness to God by the virtue of God's grace, attachment and aversion are also resolved. Equivalency also comes, serenity is also attained, and liberation is also fulfilled. Because in our essence we are fragments of God. By correcting this essence, everything else gets corrected. If you wish to effortlessly experience God, it is my request that you must accept I belong to God. This practice is much more powerful than true sadhana. For instance, a daughter in your family once married accepts that I belong to my husband's place. Similarly, you must accept that I belong to God. This is an extremely effortless and preeminent sadhana. God has Himself specified this as the ultimate untold secret. Sarva from Gita. In the entire instruction of the Gita, the term Sarva has been used only once. I am really stating this with folded hands that in my opinion, this is the foremost sadhana. I feel so in my heart that if we accept I feel so in my heart that if we accept that God belongs to us, then our task will be quickly done. God is mind. God is mind. If this is accepted, then a whole lot of our work is done. We have already come quite close to God. All that you wish to be part from would be achieved by God's wish, God's strength only. In Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, both sadhana, path and sadhya dedication are distinguishable. Whereas in Bhakti Yoga, God, whereas in Bhakti Yoga, God Himself is the sadhana as well as the sadhya. That's why the path of Bhakti Yoga is comparatively difficult to treat. Everybody is not aware of this fact. That's why I keep on emphasizing that you must accept your belongingness to God. God is our Father. Each one of us is His beloved son and daughter. Accept this and consider most of your work completed. It is better than God's continual remembrance to accept our relationship with God that I belong to God. Our relationship is ever existing. Once the relation is embarrassed, then God's remembrance occurs inherently and doesn't have to be practiced. It happens without any effort. I have a mother. In this manner, we have accepted our mother. So now we are not required to remember this. Like a rich man is always proud from within that I have so much money. Similarly, you should also at all times be proud from within that I belong to God. However you are, you must never disregard the fact that I belong to my God. Be it happiness or sorrow, health or sickness, profit or loss, but I belong to God. God belongs to me. Your mind must never hinder from this principle. There is no equivalent path, no ability, no strength, nor privilege than acceptance of our belongingness to God. In the acceptance of God's belongingness, the mind, the intellect, etc. are not required. Whereas in other sadhanas, the assistance of the mind, the intellect, etc. are required. Even with the persisting absence of certain interests in the seeker, God chooses to concentrate only on the belongingness and not the absent traits, because our belongingness to God is absolute. He who accepts his relation with God rises above the ordinary. He becomes a Sant Mahatma. He attains serenity and eternal joy. He becomes carefree of everything else. So So accept that God belongs to you and relax. I belong to God. Never forget this. And you will suddenly experience God. You will be naturally introduced to satsang and Mahatmas. The most exceptional thing is an eternal relationship with God. By the virtue of the acceptance of the relationship, there is rapid augmentation, chanting of God's name, meditation, kirtan, etc., not perpetual. And there is always some interference, whereas there is no interference in the relationship with God. For example, by sleeping, the marital relationship doesn't vanish. Similarly, in forgetfulness or sleep, our relationship with God doesn't vanish. It is perpetual and ever existing. There is exertion in performing, chanting, etc. But the relationship is never terminating. This relationship is immediate and eternal. Like marriage breaks only if you break it. If you accept that God belongs to me, then not even God can break this. The jiva or the embodied soul is a fragment of God. Therefore, if he connects with God by any means, he is certainly liberating. A relationship with God invariably leads to supreme benefit. So you took God by enmity, like Kansha and Shishubha, etc. But liberated. And those who love God utterly were also liberated. But those who failed to establish any relation were not liberated. If someone expresses that God is mine, it extinguishes the Lord. In reality, except for God, there is no one whom we can call ours. You do your materialistic tendencies. You might become ignorant of God, but God never forgets you. There is one question behind it. It was put by a disciple to Swamiji. After acceptance of God's revelation, can God be realized even on persistence of worldly desires? And Swamiji replies, yes, God can be realized even on persistence of worldly desires, and the desires will not persist once God is realized. The principal mistake has been the erroneous embracing of what is not ours. For example, body, senses, mind, intellect, and who belong to us, we did not embrace that God. This single blunder encompasses every other mistake in mathematics, on omission of even a single step or a rigid, the thing becomes infinite and no mark is awarded. That's why you must at least accept I belong to God and God is mine. To eternally be with the Lord and to require His perpetual love, it is a must to embrace the fact that God is mine. Like a child declares that the mother is mine, similarly God is mine. The sentiment of belongingness towards God is the mantra for eternal love. It reveals the presence of God. You must invoke this feeling from within that why is my mother not taking me in her lap? You must firmly believe. You must firmly believe that you must firmly believe God belongs to you. This will have an immense outcome and your existence will prove victorious. My heart will be extremely delighted if you do so, and you will also be happy. You will be blissful. This acceptance is pure profit with no loss of any kind. This wisdom is not ordinary. It is the conclusive essence of the Vedas, Gita and Ramayana. Even if you do not believe that truth will remain absolute, it can never be alive. You just have to embrace it from your hand. That even if a void persists, it will be up to God to seal it. But you must never disregard this. Once accepted, keep on repeating, I belong to God. This will naturally make you pristine and pure. Is God feebler than a philosopher's stone, which transforms metal into pure gold? The purity which is attained by acknowledging the relationship with God can never be attained by our endeavors. The benefit which is not obtained even after years and years of search will be achieved in a single day by accepting our belongingness to God. The stronger one associates with people and material objects. The lesser one feels about his belongingness towards God. When it is properly understood and acknowledged that in the entirety of the limitless cosmos, there isn't even a speck of an object which belongs to us, to the body, senses, mind, intellect, ego, doesn't belong to us, nor exist for us. And only can be the actual wind agents or tattva experienced and understood. Actions by any of the three bodies, introspection and trance, even they are not ours nor of any use to us. Only after the departure from our assumed relation with actions, introspection and trance, what is achieved. That quintessence or tattva only is ours and for us. We are fragments of God only till the time a human being has assumed that the body and the world are his and I wished for him, till then he will listen, learn, orate and lecture, but will not adequately understand the quintessence or tattva, the advancement of a seeker will not be substantial until the relationship with God is acknowledged. Whereas the progress would be effortlessly humongous. If it is acknowledged, I belong to God, accept this from within, and your spiritual standing will transform. Furthermore, there will be a comprehensive change in you, and you will attain peace. Doubts will be clear, and confusion will dissolve. Oh dear Lord, I belong to you. Accept this much from within, and all your worldly affinities will loosen by themselves. You will not have to struggle to loosen those earthly ties. Recently, this thought has been illuminating with me a lot to embrace our eternal relationship with God. It has been particularly coming to my mind that you must anyhow accept your relationship with God. You may accept God as your son, your father, your mother, your brother, your friend, your guru, your teacher, your disciple, your master, your servant, or whoever you accept him to be. Just accept this much and it will be tremendously beneficial. You may or you may not accept. That is your wish. I will keep on retaining. That is my duty and I will adhere to it. Even if you wish not to accept this, I will not be upset with you, but certainly my heart will not be content. Any sadhana or spiritual practice can never be continuous, but vibration is ever existing. A seeker can pursue any form of sadhana, but must agree on his exclusive relationship with God or God. Until the time relation with another exists. Till then, the sadhana is not absolute. What you believe to be the path towards God-realization is not the actual path towards God-realization. True sadhana happens only when you accept your relationship with God. For instance, when a married woman visits her mother's place, even by performing all obligations, she never disregards the fact that she is married. Similarly, if you wish to attain God realization, then even while residing in this material world, you must agree from within on your relationship with God. Do not agree to associate even with a son or a guru, but do respect their teachings. Once you accept that you belong to God, then all your actions will be sadhana for God-realization only. I belong to God, God belongs to me. This is the true sadhana. God belongs to us. We belong to God. If the Lord's relation is embraced in this way, then you will not have to purposely try and remember God. But instead, you will innately remember Him in our worldly routine. We have observed that a person is respected based on their material wealth. But in Lord's routine, one is respected if they are related to God. Just by accepting the relationship with God, all your losses, all worries, all griefs, all clutter will resolve. You will become absolute. It is said that the realization of God is extremely effortless. It is also told that the realization of God is extremely difficult if one goes by set norms and regulations. The realization of God is extremely difficult. But if the heart has a genuine passion for God, then it becomes extremely effortless. Like a child assures that the mother is mine. Similarly, God is ours. The heart should have such simple passion. It is exceptionally difficult to attain God realization. If the heart lacks passion, God received passion. If a child assures that the mother is mine, what evolution will be applied in this? The child never dreams. If he is qualified or suitable by the virtue of his affection, he fondly and completely dominates his mother. Similarly, God is mine. Simply accept this. If the child cries, the mother has to attend to her child irrespective of what she was doing. Therefore, simply and honestly says, O Lord, O my dear Lord, God is mine. This one truth surpasses everything. Without asserting any rules and regulations, one should particularly dwell the single thread. God is mine. The passion for belongingness should be exceptional and foremost. Disregard every other fact. Don't focus even on your shortcomings, rather. Rather gaze only towards the Lord, precious personality. There can't be anyone except God who can be ours. Nor can ever stay with us. For instance, when a mother watches her child play, her heart becomes full of love. Similarly, what the heart is full of love for each one of the souls. He wants to accept them, meet them, and converse with them. But this soul doesn't even glance at God. So it is my request to all of you that however you are, at least remember this thought that God is mine. मेरे तो निर्धन गोपाल दूसरों का कोई. If you accept this, you will never be happy again. There is no particular loss in accepting this, but pure and pure profit. Body, senses, soul, mind, intellect, etc. Nothing belongs to me. Only God is mine. If you accept this, you will be greatly benefited, greatly benefited, greatly benefited. Nothing else. Nothing else will bind you. Even in times of sickness, you will not be distressed, but will experience eternal joy. The body, mind, feel lethargic. But there will be eternal bliss in it. Even if you develop 4 or 5 degrees of fever, you stop talking or collapse. Even then there will be no difference in the eternal joy within, which is an absolute good. Since all of you have come for satsang, just accept that regardless of however we are, we belong to God. Simply because of not accepting our belongingness to God, you will have to suffer. There is no doubt about this. And each and every phase, you will take birth, die, and suffer. Once the relationship with God is accepted, then be joyful. There is no need to do anything else. If you embrace God, then God is happy and samsara so happy. Everyone contents. No one can be upset because we are not grabbing somebody else's part. We are taking what is rightfully ours. There is no step in accepting God. No fee, no learning, no reading, no memorization, and no qualification. There is nothing in this material world that belongs to us. Understand this, and God belongs to us. Nothing belongs to us in this material world. It doesn't doubt this plenty. everything will be accepted. But God belongs to us. No doubt in this will be accepted. This has to be embraced. Initially, the material world is comprehended and God is accepted. Afterwards, God doesn't remain really accepted but becomes tangible. God constantly gazes at you like a mother gets delighted when her child calls Mom, Mom. Similarly, when you call out that God belongs to you, God gets utterly delighted. You are a fragment of the Lord. You must remember this at all times. I keep on repeating this. I keep on repeating this because I have developed a particular regard for only in recent years. I was not aware of its importance initially. For example, a daughter of a house after marriage belongs to the house where she got married. Similarly, you must also embrace your belongingness to God's house. Accept that you are not a bachelor anymore. We are not without a master. Unlike wild beasts, we belong to God. Indeed, you all belong to God forever. You may or may not know, you may or may not accept, simply transform your sentiment. If you wish to experience God, then you must not regard yourself as a woman or a man. Affirm your relationship with God. That I belong to God. If you embrace your belongingness to God, then it is a tremendous achievement. If you affirm yourself as a woman or a man, how will you achieve no realization? If you affirm yourself as a woman, then you will only achieve a man, but not God. Affirmation of one womanhood or manhood is also an entrance in moralization. The distinction between a woman and a man is necessary for worldly customs and behavior. If you have embraced yourself as a physical body, then how will you experience God? Your inner sentiment only must transform that I belong to God. God's relation is such. It slashes all other phony relationships. You may be a sinner, but even then, you are with God. Goodness and wrongdoings don't even touch you. You belong to God and God belongs to you. If you forget this, even then this truth is as it is. the mind only. You have had the inert body, material world, so it attracts you toward yourself. If you disregard its relationship, then it will not attract. If you accept relationship with God, then sins of eternal life will depart. I belong to God. This is not a fact to ponder upon, but rather should be acknowledged. Douglas will for only what is in its ponder. What is in it to ponder? If the mind is free of desires, attachment, aversion, but without any sentiment of belongingness towards God, then liberation will be attained, but God will not be experienced. Whereas there is a desire, attachment, aversion in the mind, but the feeling of belongingness towards God is present, then God will be experienced. It means that impeccability is related to liberation, but belongingness is related to God. Sugriva was desirous, but he accepted that God belongs to him. The sentiment of belongingness is the most beloved to God. The relationship of belongingness to God is an essential cause in awakening eternal love. God is neither a man, neither a man nor a woman, nor a neutral, but still is everything. That's why you can accept him as a father or a mother. Whatever relationship you want to embrace with God, God is ready to accept it. By accepting the relationship, the sentiment of belongingness develops. Sentiment of belongingness develops. The sooner God is attained by belongingness, the sooner God is attained by belongingness. It cannot be attained through exercise. The close relationship that your son has with you, a similar relationship a servant does not have. The servant is related due to work and profession, but his son is not related by work and profession. When the servant works well, you get satisfied. But even if the son is illiterate or inept, even then he has full right over his father's property. If you perform activities, then you become a servant. But if you establish belongingness with God, then you become a son. You must try and remember that. You must try and remember that we are a fragment of God whom no one can be equivalent to. Then how can anyone be greater than him? So you must not get afraid of material illusions. We belong to God. By remembering this, you will inherently acquire strength. We are not an orphan. We have a Lord. Remember this. Just because of not remembering God you got disappointed and disheartened with the Lord, employing strength for himself. Like a mother's milk is for her child and not for the mother herself. Similarly, God's strength is for us. Being a fragment of God, we are not evil. However we are, we belong to God. He is the useless son, not a son. We belong to God, then why should we worry? He who does not belong to God should worry. Nothing except God is mine. Accept this, and you will be greatly benefited. There is nothing more joyous and blissful than this. This is the essence of all Shastras and teachings of all Mahatmas. Chanting kadosh, need, bhajan, kirtan, etc. are not required. You may or may not have control over the mind, but at least accept this much, that there is nothing else except God, which belongs to us. How is the Lord? We are not interested in that. However He is the protector of countless universes. That Paramatma is our Father. For what should we believe? If you accept that God is mine, I belong to God, then there will be a tremendous transformation in you. Tremendous transformation in you. You will become carefree and fearless. Accept that God belongs to to you when all your work is done, not even a fraction of a task will be left for you to do. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Meditative Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, etc. nothing will be left. This triangle or sadhaka will become complete with all objectives achieved, all knowledge earned and all desires fulfilled. He who is the guardian of all countless cosmos, that God is mine. If this is accepted, then what else is left and how is it left? The essence of love is belongingness. For those who are dear to us, we naturally tend to remember them. We remember our wife, son and daughter because we love them. We have accepted our belongingness to them. If you want to love God, accept that He belongs to you. And you will naturally remember Him without any effort. Whatever you start liking, the mind automatically goes towards it. God is mind, the power that lies in it is not there with renunciation and austerities. Each and every soul is a child of God. 8.4 million forms of bodies and other bodily forms, such as deities, streams, demons, ghosts, owls, these are also God's children. If you just accept that we are God's child, then what stops you? Once you accept it, then most of your work is done. The state that is not achieved even after years of sadhana will be attained just by accepting this. We believe in God. We believe in God, we belong to God. We have been blessed with this incredible truth. Now what else do we require? If we just don't forget our belongingness to God, if we just don't forget our belongingness to God, then everything will become all right. We'll experience. We wouldn't be required to perform sadhana. It will happen naturally. Naturally it will happen. We belong to God. If we remember this truth, then impurities will not come close. They will run away. But if we forget this, then we will get surrounded by impurities. We belong to God. By accepting this, all of you can become a saint wherever you are. No one can interrupt you from this. Now we belong to God. Accept so. And immediately become carefree, fearless, calm, and readiness. Transmutation naturally, without even any education. Without even any education has complete ownership over his father's property. Similarly, because of your belongingness to God, you will naturally inherit property of God. When we look at the Mahabharata, we notice that the Lord presented the Pandavas with both favorable and unfavorable condition in plenty. But it was incredible of the Pandavas that they never disrespected the Lord. Among the Pandavas, Bhimsen had a big mouth, but even he never spoke against the Lord. Such should be the Lord's admirers. Whereas Duryodhana never derived any admiration for the Lord. He considered the Lord a clever and shrewd man. The Pandavas were incredible. In the fact that even when conditions moved against their will, they still consider that the Lord belonged to them. Similarly, in situations happening against our will, we should still see that the Lord belongs to us. Numerous things are told concerning God. But those who wish to attain realization should not dwell on how is God, how not is He. The truth that believers' realization is there is a God and however He is ours. The foremost thing is we have a Lord. We are not our faith. This truth should be firmly accepted. The most promising technique to experience God realization is I belong to God. My intellect belongs to nature. Therefore, if the mind intellect is unsettled, then that's nature's problem, and I belong to God. As God is immortal, so I am also immortal. Since God never dies, then how can I die? That's why God said, I belong to God, God belongs to me. This truth is greater than chanting the Lord's name or God's remembrance. This is the true devotion. In reality, only he is a devotee who belongs to God. He who belongs to God is not an profane person. The material person is ordinary. Objects and actions are related to this world. We are in no way related to them. While performing any action, remember that I belong to God, then in what way should I perform this duty? Intuition will naturally emerge within your mind. If you will love the Lord with an innocent heart, then in what way you should be devoted, which will naturally occur within your mind. God is mine, this is a genesis for love. Love doesn't arise from renunciation, austerity, etc., but from belongingness towards the Lord. This truth is profound. After many years of delivering discourses, I became aware of this. I became aware of this truth. Whatever belongs to us naturally becomes near to us. We belong to God, God belongs to us. This is no ordinary truth. Such devotion is of high status. There is no sadhana equivalent to it. We belong to God, God belongs to us. We have become aware of this. So why will we take another birth? So why will we take another birth? Most conclusive and essence of all is the fact that only God is ours. Except Him, no one else is ours. God is ever present with us. Except Him, no one else stays with us forever. If you accept this truth, then it is greatly benefiting. What comes and goes, never belongs to us. But God is always present with us. He never departs. This is the essence of all the Shastras, Puranas and Vedas. So behave with love with everyone, serve everyone, respect everyone and honor everyone, but in your heart not consider anyone yours. Within your heart consider only God as yours. If you acknowledge others as yours, then one day you will have to be. To serve everyone is ours, but for ourselves to receive no one is ours. For ourselves only God is ours. You may consider God as Saguna, Nirguna, Akar, Nirakar, etc. Whatever you believe, but He is ours. What I have told you is this, which is not everywhere. If you say in front of Yamarada, if you get also that I belong to God, then you will Yamarada sure. If you accept your relationship with God, then purity and piousness will naturally come to you. You belong to God, God belongs to us. We belong to God, God belongs to us. By merely uttering this, you will become pure naturally. You might be a disobedient child, but even then we belong to God. We just have to eradicate our disobedience. Sadhana that happens by the virtue of the body, that sadhana also is not valuable. From within body's mind, the value that this has isn't not there in chanting, etc. performed by the body. The just wife doesn't say her husband's name, but doesn't diminish her love for her husband. Under the man, she finds out her husband as her. Being a fragment of God, you are one with the Lord. The body is one with the material world. If the body does not appear as ours, then Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, all three will become effortless. Even after these many years of satsang, if we don't accept that the body belongs to us, the body belongs to the world and we belong to God, then what have we done? High talks like a Pandit wouldn't suffice. It is profound truth that till God is not realized, until then developing a relationship with anyone is dangerous. When you haven't become free from existing relations, then why do you develop new relationships? All relationships have already become tough for you to break. What will your condition be if you develop new relationships? It will be an utter disaster. Formulating a relationship with anyone is the cause for downfall. Jadbharta began the relationship with the deer, so he had to pick a deer form. The word sambandha or relationship only means bondage in an excellent manner or in a great way. Formulation of a new relationship is a new element. A man asked another, if I hold the tail of this deer, then what will you give me? The other replied that the mare herself will give it to you. She will kick you so hard that you will die. It is required of a striver of sadhana that he must not develop a relationship with anyone, whatever relationships exist. They are also not broken. Then why formulate new ones? A relationship with the material world is the most stable. This truth extremely rare. Keep your relationship only with God. Whose fragment you are? Do you accept this or not? Acknowledge this or not? Or forget this altogether? Even then your relationship with God will never break. You accept your relationship with God, your sorrows will disappear. Whatever study I have done in these books, I have gone through and after pondering, it is the foremost truth that we belong to God. Accept this fact for eternity that I am known without the God, I belong to God. But I find most valuable for all in my view